Hello, welcome to Kent Beer Reviews. Right, this beer I purchased at Camden Brewdog in London. It's a bit of a beast. It's from Oskar Blues. It's their Gubna. My pronunciation is awful. Just me. Can't read. So it's a Gubna Imperial IPA. There you go. It's getting a bit dark out here now, so I'm just making the most of the weather. I've just done a couple of other American beers, and this is the last one. So there's a bit of information I've gleaned from this for this beer. They're out of Longmont, Colorado. It's 10% ABV. It's coming in at 100 IBUs. This version, which canned on can't be right. Yeah, the 8th of May 2015 this was canned. So this year's edition, they use different hops for each year apparently. That's what I've heard anyway. If I'm wrong, put the comments down below. This amazingly has 6 different hop varieties in it. It's got Galena, Sorachi and Columbus hops, and it's dry hopped after that with Dorado, trying to remember, Comet and Chinook hops. Wow, remembered it. So 6 hop varieties. It's pretty amazing. And then obviously to try and balance that out, they've obviously for 100 IBUs they've had to use quite. Sorry, I need to do that. To balance it out, they've obviously used quite a lot of malt varieties. So I'm just trying to remember. I think they use rye malts, North American pale malts. I think Munich malts as well, to push them IBUs up to around the 100 mark. So it's big. It's 10%. It's going to need a lot of malts to get the ABV up there, basically, and obviously a hell of a lot of hops to balance that. So six different hops on one side, and then 3 rye, American North Pale and Munich. Yeah, 3 different malt varieties. So anyway, let's get this beer out then, and I'm going to try and remember to do a can test. I'll do that first, I think. This is a big old thing, 10%. Oh my word. It almost smells quite a little bit bready in the can. Might be brown bread. That could be the malts, I guess. Anyway, I'll pour half of this in there. I'll leave half in the can. Look at the colour. It's getting quite dark now, so look at that. Didn't generate a head at all, but then it's 10% at the end of the day. It's very clear. Definitely getting dark. Not too much on the. Perhaps it's too far down. So. Yeah, so it's pine. grapefruit. Tropical fruits. But you're definitely picking up on the malt in this. Anyway, let's give it a try. Cheers. Oh my life. It's a little bit thicker in the mouthfeel, but there's no burn. Very sweet malts at the front. You're picking up that straight away. Perhaps the more mouthfuls I have, I will start to feel slight warming. It's 10%. Not drinking like it at the moment at all. It's drinking more like a probably 6%. I've had 6% that have been more boozy than this at the moment anyway. I've only had 2 little mouthfuls. Let's have a taste from the can. I've actually remembered this time. Well, it's a bit different. It's more boozy from the can than from the glass. Don't know why. Whether the can is giving off that impression or not. Definitely. It reminds me of wine gums. It's got that kind of taste to it from the can anyway. Yeah. Wine gums. It's actually starting to, you can feel it on your palate a little bit now, the alcohol. Not a burn, just it's slight warming. There's hints of licorice in this, believe it or not, I think. It's warm licorice. So very sweet at the front. And it goes into this kind of there's hints of tropical fruits. At the moment at least. It's a complex beer. It's amazingly nice. But the amount of malts that are at the front, it's taking time for my palate to adjust. I don't really want to drink this beer that quick, to be honest. Bear with me. some of these beers, or certainly this beer, is making you really think about it. I don't know if it's the alcohol that's in the malts that are masking a little bit more the hops. Excuse me, carbonation. There's licorice. There we go. Just starting to come now. There's hints of lemon. There is grapefruit, but it's not up there. It's leaving a little bit of residue on the lips. It's a little bit sticky, which you would expect for a 10% IPA, an Imperial IPA or triple IPA, whatever you want to call it. But it's 10%, so that's, you know. I think one of these you wouldn't want, obviously, any more than 1 can. I mean, it's a 12 fluid ounce can, so I've got 2 other beers here to drink as well, so I'm I'm being a bit of an animal tonight. It's getting very dark. I don't know if you can see me. I will explain it in a minute. I'm sorry. This review is going to be a bit of a long time. So I actually tried a can test for the first time. So you see a reflection of the camera. It's probably keeping my light or my face in the light a little bit. So yeah, I'll be keeping this can. And that's going to go with... I'm a bit of a can collector, especially with craft beer. Definitely more grapefruit coming through now. Pineapple. But then the alcohol on the malts is kind of masking a little bit of the hops. It's an amazing beer that doesn't taste of 10%. I think I said that it tastes like a 6. Yeah, I'm probably going to up that a little bit. It tastes more like, I say, a 6.5, something like that I've had in the past anyway. But it's a very well made beer. It's leaving a lovely mid palate zing, and then the bitterness. It's not coming across as an 100 IBU beer to me. Is it better at the front or the back? It's at the front. Yeah, the sweetness comes after. Amazingly complex beer, really hard to try and describe this one, I have to say. I've been waffling for a long time on this beer as well. I'm aware of that. I apologise. It's getting really dark. That's how long I've been waffling. I'll tell you what I'll do. If you can be bothered to hang on for the rest of the review, then great. If not, then I understand. I'm on 13 minutes now, so I'm going to let this warm up a little bit. I'm going to get my palate adjusted. I'm going to come back and do the final part of the beer. Yeah, that's what I'm going to do. It's a quality beer that's very complex, and I'm running out of light out here, so I'll be back in the kitchen. Excuse me, back in the kitchen in just a moment. Right, I'm back. I've been sipping on this beer for most of the evening. I had to retire obviously to the kitchen because it was getting dark, so I've still got a bit left, don't know how much left. So has it changed? It's now, it smells a lot more kind of boozy, being 10%. It's got kind of a aroma of kind of a raisiny, like a baker's kind of baker's yeast, like dough. Maybe it's got aromas of sherry, slight sherryness in with them raisins. quite sweet at the front. It's much more cakey kind of taste. There's a lot more warming sensation now as it goes down the throat. Not unpleasant, but you know you're onto something with a little bit more poke than your average IPA. This being 10%, an Imperial triple IPA. It's an amazing beer. That's all I can say. It's very strong. Don't get me wrong. You can't do. You have to be careful with this, or drink it slowly, maybe with food or something. But I've been sipping on this all evening. Now it's warmed up. There's a lot more flavour going on with this beer. I'll have one more sip. It reminds me so much of, there's a little bit of fruit cakiness going on, maybe slightly nutty, very minimal, but then you're getting the obvious, you know, citrusy kind of. I wouldn't say it's punchingly tropical fruits, because I think the malts in this with the 100 IBUs are slightly, you know, they're shadowing that aspect of the beer a little bit. But a lovely sipping beer. You know, it's drinking more like a Russian Imperial Stout or something, speed wise. You don't want to just go mental, as you'll be on the floor. But you know, take time and really appreciate this. It's very complex, as I said earlier. So there's the last mouthful. So as for a rating, this is Oskar Blues Gubna Imperial IPA, coming in at 10%, 100 IBUs. I'm going to give that a 9 out of 10. 9 out of 10 from me. If you had this beer before, put what you thought of it in the comments box, whether you liked it or didn't like it or whatever. I think I've got one more beer from Oskar Blues to do. I'll be doing that in the next few days. Anyway, that's 9 out of 10 from me. Please put your comments in the comments box. Please subscribe, and cheers.